Hello, I'm Brigantia Blackbird of Blackbird's Brew. Happy Sunday. It's time for another Loki video, and this one is going to be focusing on the benefits of walking meditations. Now, as part of the Power of Release workshop that we've started at Blackbird's Brew, we've been encouraged to take spirit walks in nature. So, consequently, I've been taking very early morning walks, as in the sun hasn't risen yet, and I've been enjoying the atmosphere, and Loki has been walking with me. This has been a time for conversation, communion, for lack of better terms. And since it's at the beginning of the day, my brain just hasn't had a chance to get, cluttered up with other thoughts or the to-do list for the day or any of the nonsense that's going on in the world, because I do not look at the headlines before I take this walk. And because I'm in this very relaxed frame of mind, it's been very conducive for me getting into that meditative state as I'm walking along. And this, of course, makes it easier to hear Loki's voice. For those of you who have not worked with deities all that often, you are not literally hearing a voice. It's just, when they speak to you, it's like it's inside of your head, and you hear it through that way, and you just know that those thoughts did not come from you, because you know what your own thoughts feel like. It's something that's being projected into your consciousness, and that's how the communication tends to take place on these occasions. So despite the fact that as I'm walking, I currently live in town, so I'm walking through the neighborhood, I still have that sense of being apart from the world, because no one else is awake. There's next to no traffic. I mean, no one's out in their yards doing anything. I really haven't even seen anyone up to take their dog for a walk. So I get to be that observer without being observed in return. It's kind of a sense of invisibility from the rest of the world. I can just take a step back, walk along, and just assess what I see. Take it in through osmosis almost, without feeling conspicuous. Now, on these occasions, I'll usually just talk to Loki in my mind. Sometimes this is preceded by a more formal prayer, but it just doesn't make very much sense to pray to him if I already feel his presence. That would be odd. There's no point in that kind of formality. And if I'm praying, it's because what I've gotten from him is that it's fine for me to pray if I'm asking for him to come around, or if I'm simply wanting to convey information to him if he's not, in my general vicinity. That would be, that's essentially what I use prayer for, at least where Loki is concerned. And it's because he's just so heavily present, especially during these meditations. So this has become an informal morning ritual for me. I get up, drink a cup of tea. I'm not going out completely uncaffeinated into the world. I get dressed, put on a nice warm hoodie because the mornings are getting pretty crisp, and then I just go for a walk with Loki. We soak in the early morning energies. I'm admiring the changing trees. I'm seeing, what the local fauna are up to, because there's usually deer or cats or, something's moving around. Then after that, come home, make some chai, and make my offerings to Loki. He gets his own cup of chai, as well as dragon's blood incense, 2 lit candles, and any chocolate if I happen to have it. And that's just how I've been starting my days. And then I go on with whatever else I need to do. But my day has a spiritual start. It's beginning in a place of calm, and a place that's more connected, not only to Loki, but to the energies of the world just in general. And most importantly of all, it's not starting with the catastrophes of whatever's going on social media, whatever the headlines in the news are. It's not starting with this sense of, okay, shields up and get ready to fight and face the world. It's calmer, it's soothing, it allows me to ease into the day. Now, another side effect of this is that it has been sharpening my senses, and that's been very important in my work with Loki. When I've been working with him, he wants me very actively intellectually engaged, but he also wants my emotions to be very close to the surface and to be fully integrated with everything else that my mind's going on. And he also wants my instincts raised up, and that means sharpening my senses, being more in tune with the world around me. Now, on these early morning walks, the ambient energy just in the atmosphere and any animals that are around, any people who might be around, whether, behind closed doors in their houses or elsewhere. It's just easier to detect because there aren't as many distractions. And so this has made me more aware of the energy currents around me just in general, but especially on these walks, and I've even noticed a difference in my nighttime meditations. And as I mentioned earlier, the local fauna are making an appearance on these walks. My very first walk, I saw two deer, skitter across the road. One of them had a very impressive set of antlers. They were really, really pretty. They looked at me like they weren't quite sure what I was. So that was a little bit different. And it occurred to me that was the closest I had ever been to deer, just walking around. And it was, I don't know, it was just, there was something different. Yeah, it wasn't an eerie experience, but it was just, I was so aware of their power and their wildness, but also I had the sense that they were, of no danger to me. It was interesting. I've seen the deer. I've seen a myriad of cats, and they're scurrying around hither and thither. They've got important cat business. They very seldom spare me a look unless I happen to be crossing their paths, in which case that is a profound inconvenience to the kitties, and they glare at me to make sure that I know what a bad person I am. But this has been fun. I mean, no matter what animals I'm seeing, I know we have a local badger that kind of roams around this general vicinity. There are a lot of raccoons around in the general area. I'm looking forward to seeing what else is around, what decides to make an appearance, and just, I don't know, I feel a lot more tuned in just to my own local environment. And this also helps me be more in tune with Loki. Now, it's not like Loki is a subtle presence, and it's not as if his nudges are somehow hard to detect. He makes things very blunt, very obvious. He wants you to know when he's around. He is very involved. He wants to be involved. So taking these walks, it's not so much that I'm inviting him from coming in from far away. It's really becoming more consciously accustomed to the nature of his energy, how he operates, because, as I'm talking to him, in my mind, I'll go from subject to subject to subject, and I used to apologize. I thought, these are really scattered thoughts. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm trying to focus, and he would just kind of nudge me with, these are not unrelated things. These have a common thread going through them. And so having that interchange and also being able to get a stronger sense of, and a clearer sense of what his counsel is about any given situation, that has been extraordinarily helpful, and it's helping me make some progress on the goals that he's helping me work towards. But it's also helping me trust my instincts more, which is one of the big things we're trying to do. So if you decide to make it a practice to go for walks where you can be undisturbed and you can just commune with whatever's around you, this isn't just a means of reaching out to Loki. You could try this to reach out to any deity you've been wanting to work with, or any deity who you think is reaching out to you. And it's nice, it's quiet, you can be surrounded in as much nature as what you can find, because I know some people live in cities, and you have even less of the natural world around you than what I do in town, but still there's energy there. So if you are able to tap into that and become more attuned with it, that might also help you make connections with your gods, or with a totem animal that's become important to you, or just as a way of organizing your own thoughts. And of course, first thing in the morning with that good crisp air, it really does sweep away the mental cobwebs. And it's definitely a better way to begin your interactions with the world, rather than just turning on your phone and looking at Facebook or other forms of social media. It's about making the morning uplifting, giving you a manageable dose of spirituality, as well as just helping you get more in the flow of what's going on around you. So I would highly recommend this practice to anyone who hasn't already tried it. I've been enjoying it. I think it's already yielded me some spiritual benefit, and of course, as time goes on, well, first I'll have to bundle up a little bit more in the morning as the weather turns colder. But I think this has been a very effective way to work with Loki. Before, the other time when I would really feel him around is in the evenings as I'm getting ready for bed and I'm meditating before bed, or I've already laid down and I'm intending to do some dream work. I feel him very strongly around then. But this has also been another time. He seems to like to work in the dark. Maybe it's because I've been working with more internal issues. Maybe if you're having to deal with more issues that are outside of yourself, it might be different. I'm not sure yet if this is situational or if it's just kind of going to be the general mode of being. We'll have to see. But if you're looking for ideas, well, here's one to consider. Worth a shot. Okay, I think that's it for today. Thank you for tuning in. Please join me on Discord. There's a link in the description box below for Blackbird's Brew. And of course, subscribe to this channel, like this video, and leave me a comment should the spirits so move you. But that's it. See you later. Bye.